Greetings!
Hi.
You're watching Septum Sen vs. the World. I'm Septum Sen, I'm here with Kotobuki Jake, and we're here for our pickups.
Mm-hmm.
We're here with Evie today. She's not lit up, so we don't have to worry about her causing problems, at least not now. So she's going to be joining us for this video. And we're going to be discussing our pickups that we had for the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the first question is, who wants to go first?
Ooh,
Do you want to go first?
sure.
After you.
Alright, because I have some exciting stuff this week. First one is actually a library pickup. I'm a little disappointed because I'm about 80% sure there should have been a book with this. And because this is a little bit loose in the case. But otherwise it looks awesome. Library pickup, again, addition to my documentary collection. National Geographic, 125 years. 10-disc set. And I'm really not 100% certain what all's on here. It says on the back, wow, is that right? It says 1,298 minutes.
Oh, really?
That's going to go for a while. That's going to go for a while. Okay, this is very cool. It says, showcasing National Geo's very first television special, Americans on Everest, and more than 20 additional shows. That's going to be pretty cool. It's going to take forever to get through it all. But I remember back in the day, I saw some of the National Geo specials, and they're pretty good specials, you know, definitely. Yeah. And I've said before, I'm working on trying to improve my documentary collection. This is definitely a pretty fun step in that direction.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think those are pretty cool looking. I mean, I do envy you the set.
Yeah, and even if it is incomplete, I mean, it was $1, so, you know, that's not bad.
So, mine, as you can see, I did pick up and for those of you who haven't, I had a video where I did an unboxing. Full Moon had a nice sale, and I took advantage of it. It was a random grab box, and they included some cool stuff. For everything I got in the box, you can check out the video. I did say in the video that this time I would be revealing the media I got in the box when I got to the pickups. And this is what I got. So this is how this is what I have right now. And this, to start off with, is the Puppet Master 1 and 2 soundtrack. Now, I don't usually collect soundtracks like this, but it is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to pop it in and just listen to it. I mean, it's probably got some cheesiness to it. I mean, I don't remember much of that, but it had some interesting music. So I'm very interested in seeing the Puppet Master stuff.
Very cool.
I'm sure Evie would agree. But, you know.
Yeah.
So, go right ahead.
All right, so my next one. I gave in to temptation about a week ago. I looked at Amazon to see if there was anything on my high priority list that was on sale on deep discount. And if I found something, you know, every now and then I'll do this. If I look for something and I find something that I can't pass up, I'll build an order around it, you know, get to that magical $25 free shipping level. And this is probably not a super deep discount item, but it was a good price. And it's a very high priority pickup. One of the more awesome films of the past decade or so. Yeah, the past decade. Asghar Farhadi's A Separation.
Oh, wow.
It's the Iranian film that won Best Foreign Language Picture in 2011, technically 2012 Oscars. It was actually up for screenplay as well, which is kind of rare that a foreign film will get a writing nod. So, and I don't know, it may be the first Iranian film that's gotten a writing nod.
Oh, it was a very good film. I've seen it
really
twice.
good.
I've seen my copy as well not too long ago.
And I've been sitting on a copy from the library of another film by this director called Fireworks Wednesday, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But his films won again this year the film The Salesman, or last year rather, The Salesman was the same director. This is a really, 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 really good film, and I ended up getting it on Blu-ray for $13, which, again, it's not a super deep discount, but for this kind of movie, that's a really good price. And this is one that has been a high priority. I thought it was a little more recent when I got it, so I thought I was knocking off a film from those top 40 lists I made up. I'm working on one for 2011. When I get it completed, this one won't have to be on it. So, but yeah, so that's the first of. I actually did get 3 of my top 40 films from the past decade, plus a very important additional one. So, this is the rest of my pickup for this week. Is this order, and it is awesome. So, are you ready to go? Or were you looking for the Salesman?
My copy.
Oh,
but mine
you
is
could show a
probably
picture,
out there.
maybe.
Yeah, mine's out there somewhere. It's
Okay,
just
I like
getting
the
mixed
title
up.
for this one.
So again, this one is just random assortments of things, and this one is a grindhouse picture, and it is called Badass Motherfucker. And it is interesting looking. It looks like your typical blaxploitation video right there. And, you know, I didn't see a lot of this stuff in the 70s. I've seen a couple of things, and I saw, you know, Black Dynamite, which was making fun of this stuff, and, of course, Jackie Brown,
Right.
which was another attempt at the same thing, but didn't, in my opinion, do as well at doing it.
Well, Jackie Brown, it was through the prism of Quentin Tarantino,
Yeah.
you know, which meant that it was actually pretty good. But is that a legit 70s movie, or is it kind of like Black Dynamite, where they were trying to recapture the magic?
I think this is fairly legit, but I could be wrong.
Like, if you've never seen Black Dynamite, it's great.
It says here, welcome to the world of badass motherfuckers. A place where the fists fly fast, the kicks pack a blast, and the soul sisters take down all the misters. From the streets of Harlem to the saloons of the Old West, this collection of the funkiest trailers and clips from flicks of the blaxploitation era will act as a game plan for taking down the man. Can you dig? Former NFL star, legendary blaxploitation actor Fred the Hammer Williamson is your host with the motherfucking most. And if you cross his path, you're going to have to get his boot out of your
So
ass.
is that actually a documentary?
So in a way, I guess it could be considered a documentary or a clip show.
Wow.
So this might be more interesting than when it first looks. So well worth checking out.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we have one of the films that was from my top 40 list. In fact, this is a movie that finishes my top 10 for 2012. Multiple Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Actress. I have Michael Haneke's Amour. This was not the easiest film in the world to watch, but damn, it was good. And it was, I think it was, like I said, it was number 10 on my list for that year. I still don't know why I don't have Wreck-It Ralph other than me being cheap. But but I do now have the top 11 films of that year. And Wreck-It Ralph and Ruby Sparks are the only ones remaining to have my top 20 for the year. So I'm doing good with that year. And also last week's Rust and Bone, that was also from that year. So I'm going to have that
You're
list.
working on that great.
But this is really good. It's basically a film about an old couple dealing with the problems that old couples deal with. I think, is it the woman who has dementia, or is it the I can't remember. One of them.
I think it's the woman that has the dementia.
And Emmanuelle Riva plays the woman, and she was one of the oldest people ever nominated for an acting Oscar. It did really, really, really good. It was Haneke is an odd director. I've seen 2 of his films, this one and The White Ribbon, and this is a very different film from The White Ribbon. and very different from, I believe, what's that one he did? Funny Games, I guess it is.
Well, Funny Games.
This is a very different movie, but it's very good. And again, very happy to finally add it. And I think this one was like 11, so it really, again, it wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, speaking of very good films, I have another Grindhouse film. Yes, another Grindhouse film called Mutant Hunt. As you can see right here.
Hey, Foo.
It's a classic title right there. When New York is besieged by mutant cyborgs with an insatiable lust for ripping human beings apart, its dedicated mutant hunter Matt Riker to the speedy rescue. A diabolical scientist, Z, has injected these mechanical zombies with a sexual narcotic that induces thirst for killing. Yeah. Improve my killing power, you say. All over Manhattan, the robotic Romeos begin loving 'em and leaving 'em dead. Yeah.
Sometimes with these movies, if you look at them, you hope that the movie itself will be as amusing as the liner notes.
God.
And if it is,
I don't think it can live up to that.
You never know. All right. So is it back to me then?
Yes.
All right.
And now for something completely different.
Completely different. Although in some people's minds, probably of a lower quality. I don't know. But I think of much higher. This was actually from 2013. One of my top 10 films. I'm still slacking like crazy because I don't have my number one film for that year. But I now am missing only 3 of the top 10. Because I got the number 5 film of the year. Woody Allen's Blue Jasmine, which I know for a lot of people, Woody Allen is probably not your favorite person.
Well, didn't the lead actress in this give her check back to like the... Who was it?
I don't know. Actually, this one's even more controversial because Louis C.K. was also a big part of the cast. But Blue Jasmine, regardless of the people involved, it's a good movie. And Cate Blanchett won an Oscar for it that she pretty well deserved. She was really good in that movie. And it is widely acclaimed as one of Woody Allen's better recent films. Was not the best film that year. Her was my favorite for that year. Yeah. And like I said, there must have been 4 others ahead of it. But
Blue Jasmine was one of his better films. Right. It was well acted, well designed. Yeah, I mean,
also featured a supporting actress Oscar nod for Shape of Water star Sally Hawkins. She did a fine job in that. I think she did better in Shape of Water, but Michael Stuhlbarg, also from Shape of Water. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's interesting when you get people that kind of double up on it. Bobby Cannavale, also Bobby Cannavale and Michael Stuhlbarg, both co-starring in Boardwalk Empire, so I've been seeing a lot of them lately. So that's it's one of the more serious Woody Allen films, I think. And supposedly it was inspired by A Streetcar Named Desire, which I know I'm probably going to tick off a lot of people, but I've only seen the movie once, and I hated it.
That was a hard one to sit through.
But granted, I was in high school at the time. I really need to rewatch the film. But Blanchett basically plays a Blanche character in the film. And so, she's not the most likable individual.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good one. And regardless of any controversy attached to it, I am very relieved to finally have it in the collection.
Yes.
And this was the one that triggered the sale because it was only $6.50. Yeah.
Well, this is a collection which was sent to me from them, and that is Tiny Terrors. Tiny Terrors includes 3 movies, which you will see up there, we've got Shrunken Heads, Dangerous Worry Dolls, and Ginger Dead Man 2, Passion of the Crust.
I think I already had that one.
I do already have that one. But keep in mind, this was a grab bag.
Right.
So, this was an interesting 3-movie set. I'm kind of glad to have it because I'm curious about the other 2. And I don't mind having Ginger Dead Man. It's under double feature, which is why you like to see it, because it's got The Passion of the Crust and Saturday Night Cleaver. Yeah. So I like these kind of films. Full Moon is fun. I like Ginger Dead Man. I'm sure Evie would agree.
Didn't he make a cameo in Evil Bone?
Actually, Ginger Dead Man has been a regular part of the series for a while now. I think since 4.
Yeah, I think I only saw the first 3 movies.
Yeah, well, that's all right. But what happened was when they did Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man, that's when when he became more of a part of that. And they are making a new Ginger Dead Man film, supposedly. I've been waiting for the Kickstarter to come up because I would be interested. They were always fun, especially the first one. So, worth seeing. And again, I don't know anything about Shrunken Heads or Dangerous Worry Dolls, but I do know that Full Moon likes to use their monsters in various parts of their cinema, making cameos, doing things. So it's kind of an expanded universe of creepy doll things. So it's kind of nice to know certain things there, just like the demonic toys, just like a Doll Man. These are ones that cross over a lot.
Good to know Marvel doesn't have a lock on that idea, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the Full Moon Expanded Universe existed before they did that cinematic universe. So, it's your turn.
All right. Okay, my last one is a legit, even though it wasn't what triggered my purchase, when I found it, I was like, okay, this legitimizes the whole damn thing. Okay, I've finally gotten a movie that has been on my to-get list ever since I saw it, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's only been available for the last year and a half or 2 years. They finally released it after Disney sat on it for 10 years. We got the Studio Ghibli special Ocean Waves. Very big one. And I cannot explain why I was willing to rush out and get Only Yesterday, but not this one. I don't know why.
Ocean Waves was, to me, not as good, but still a really good special.
It wasn't as good. And it wasn't legitimately a movie. It was a TV special, which is part of the other issue. But it's really good, and I still have not completed my Ghibli collection. I still need to get Tales from Earthsea, and I think I don't have The Cat Returns. Yeah. But I've got most of them, and honestly, those 2 are among the less important parts of the catalog. But this one is a really good little movie. It's not as good as their best, but it's really good. And it has consistently been about $23, $25 since its release.
Yeah.
And when I found it for $13, I jumped on it.
To grab it.
Yes. I'm very thrilled to finally have this, to finally be one step closer on my Ghibli collection. And I will like to finally see this one again. It's been too long since the first time. It would be nice to finally watch a legitimate copy.
I agree. It is good. I had not watched a legitimate copy for mine for a long time.
Because he had the bootlegs of those 2 way back in the day. He has, of course, gotten rid of them now that he's been able to get the proper release. But Disney bought those 2 along with all the other Ghibli stuff and sat on them. I mean, they could have at least let Miramax release them. But they finally, when they basically handed over their catalog to G-Kids, G-Kids was like, well, we'll put them out.
Well, G-Kids / Shout Factory.
Yeah.
But,
is that a Shout?
Yeah.
I don't see their logo on there.
Because I swear G-Kids, every one of their releases, I guess maybe it didn't work for those, because almost all the re-releases have G-Kids and Shout put on
Yeah,
them.
I don't see Shout on here. But Yeah.
Oh well, but
Some of them have been co-partners.
Did that actually have the Ghibli's as one of the? I know only yesterday they had a Ghibli's episode on it.
Yeah.
And they have another one there. Okay, so
I must have missed that.
Yep.
I need to go. I need to watch that.
They're fun little episodes.
I do technically with only yesterday. I watched it the English dub of my copy, so I have it tipped down so that I can watch the Japanese dub. But it's just finding the time to go back and do that. You know, it's.
I've long watched the Japanese dub, so it was cool seeing an English dub of that movie.
Yeah.
Now, my last one is one I supposedly have the first copy of. I can't find it, so I don't know. But and that's a movie, Trancers 2, The Return of Jack Death. There are 6 Trancers movies, believe it or not. And I don't know much about them. I mean, it's about the distant, future of 1991. So, hey, it can't be that bad, right?
And when did that come out?
I think it came out around the same time.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, production date 1991. So, and the year it was created. But was remastered in 2014, put out on Blu-ray. I also have the first movie supposedly on Blu-ray, which is probably a part of a collection of some sort somewhere. But I'll see it eventually. I'm not in any hurry. I have to find the first one first, because I haven't seen the first one yet. Well, that's it for our things. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes,
This is of course
nice balance of
my haul from Full Moon Studios there, and we will have to see you on the next one. Goodbye.